In this video, we're going to talk about the relationship between the trapezius, specifically the upper trap muscle, in regards to neck pain. So the upper trapezius muscle, it's a giant muscle that runs from the external occipital protuberance down along onto the anterior lateral third of the clavicle. It attaches onto the acromion, and then on the backside, it has attachments onto the spine of the scapula. How it relates to neck pain, because it has such a broad attachment from the cervical spine down onto the scapula and the clavicle, when someone rests in a slouch position, you can see how the upper trap starts pulling anteriorly. And what that does is it creates a lengthened tension across the muscle. So from the side view, if I drop down this muscle here, which before was in this position, now lengthens out and it gets put on tension, or it gets put on this passive stretch. And muscles that are put on a passive stretch for lengthened periods of time, they start to hold, they start to feel that tension. And that's why so many people with cervicogenic headaches or with neck pain, they feel tension points or knots throughout their upper traps. I can relate to this because I used to be very slouched and drawn in. And that was one of the reasons for my thoracic outlet surgery that I had 15 years ago now. Now I lead my posture from my thoracic spine, CT junction, middle back, and that naturally puts my head on top of my body and it draws my shoulders back. Because when I'm in a slouched position like this, my neck does not have full rotation. So as I look over to the side towards the camera, this muscle gets blocked, almost the upper trap, because it's getting pulled forward. It limits the total amount of rotation that's available. If I sit up and do a good posture, then my neck can get all the way in line with my shoulder. So here versus here, you see that extra 20 degrees at the end. That's taking tension off the upper trap, which allows the cervical facets to move through their full range of motion. So the reason that the upper trap is so often implicated in neck pain or in people that have cervicogenic headaches is because the literal posture, you're creating mechanical tension in the upper trap position, and we're losing position of the thoracic spine. The head is typically dropping into a forward head position. Those all limit mobility of the facet joints in the cervical spine, and they place this activation and tension on the upper traps. Final piece is that when you're in this position for a long period of time, it restricts how much shoulder mobility can happen. So as you get into overhead positions, the upper trap holds the work versus the ability, tall spine, of the shoulders to drop down. So it's here versus here. All of those reasons are why the upper trap is implicated in people who have both neck and shoulder issues.